Every day, Azzeddine bin Mbarak and his daughter Dalila prepare food to bring to their son and brother, a political prisoner. But this morning marks the 12th day of his hunger strike, along with 5 other detainees in protest over their detention. Jawher bin Mbarak, a constitutional lawyer, is a critic of President Kais Saied. He's been in prison for more than a year.
And in this basket, there are usually 4 containers, but since they're on strike today, it's empty. I will bring an empty basket with me.
Jawher and 7 others are accused of conspiring against state security, serious accusations which could carry a death penalty sentence. Their lawyers and NGOs like Amnesty International have condemned the accusations as political repression with no evidence.
Khayyam lost 8 kilos, Issam 7.5, while Jawher and Abdel Hamid, we don't know. They got thinner, but they refused medical examination.
On the road to Mornagia prison outside Tunis, Dalila, Jawher's sister, and also a lawyer for the detainees explained the reasoning behind the new hunger strike, the second in 6 months.
For now, the only goal is to do what's needed, so that public opinion and the media don't forget their case, and especially to highlight the injustice that they're suffering.
The Justice Ministry refuses to comment on the case, citing judicial secrecy while proceedings are ongoing. In the last year, about 50 political opponents have been in jail in various cases. Their families regularly meet up in the headquarters of the Al Jumhuri party in Tunis to support each other.
This gives me a lot of strength to share this experience with other people suffering the same injustice, who are in the same mood as us. It helps us to endure, to keep going.
The families organized a silent march on February 25th. Symbolically handcuffed together, they demanded the release of their loved ones. Azzeddine, Jawher's father, is no stranger to political activism. He spent 5 years in prison himself in the 1970s for his politics and went on 33 hunger strikes.
We don't have a choice. We must fight. We can't sit on our hands. The situation is very serious. Yes, of course it's symbolic. We will free ourselves. Don't you worry.
Some lesser-known people are also facing the same treatment for having expressed their political opinions, like Rashid Tamboura, a young man from the coastal city of Monastir. This artist painted a graffiti against the president in February 2023, condemning Kais Saied's racist polemic against black African migrants. Rashid was almost immediately arrested and sentenced to prison 2 years for insulting the head of state.
You see there? These are his brushes, which dried out since he's been gone. No one's touched them. Those are his unfinished paintings.
Nahla hasn't returned to her brother's workshop since his arrest. She struggles to accept the reality.
We had hoped that his sentence would be reduced on appeal, but no. The 2 years were upheld. So now we don't have any more hope. He will have to do his 2 years. He himself can no longer talk about the subject. He's just trying to be patient because his life has been turned upside down. Can you imagine 2 years for graffiti?
And there's pressure on those who try to denounce these cases or document state repression. Last year, we filmed journalist Ziad El-Henni, a sharp critic of the government. He was summoned by police several times and spent 10 days in prison in January for having called a minister a lame duck. This judicial harassment forced him to stop working for mainstream media. He joined a new website, Kashf, to continue to speak freely. With a team of young journalists, he makes daily videos where he continues to criticize the government.
Freedom is costly. And if we are not ready to make the necessary sacrifices to protect it and embody it, we don't deserve it. Of course I'm afraid. I'm human, I have a family, but I also have my dignity. I have respect for myself and for my profession.
But not everyone has such resolve. These 2 judges haven't put on their robes in 2 years. They are part of the 57 judges fired by Kais Saied in 2022, accused of corruption and protecting terrorists. Without trial, they couldn't be reinstated.
Under Ben Ali, the judiciary was under the control of politicians, but we could still fight for our independence and our principles. For that, we were punished and opponents were hunted down. We were forced to work under an oppressive regime. But reprisals and threats against judges were calculated. Now, what we're living through, it's constant humiliation. We can't even defend ourselves or get a trial. The accusations are surreal.
He and his colleague no longer protest. They have applied to become lawyers, their only option to keep their livelihoods. Their situation is unlikely to change. New presidential elections are scheduled for the end of the year, and President Saied, who remains popular, could run for re-election.